Hello guys, we're here on the Pioneer server and I'm just trying out Nara and Sinbad. And Nara is looking kind of fine, like you're hooking backline enemies and drag them into, so you can just damage them. Sinbad? I don't know. He's like one of those kind of stealthy damage dealers in a way, because he jumps out of the fight and then targets enemies and making marks on them depending if they are the highest damage dealer or the tank. So if you have to pick one of these two right now, I think you would pick Nara. That actually died there. That could just be my placement as well. But I would probably go for Nara if you had to pick between one of them. For the simple reason that she will always have a utility. Like you can hook the enemies like this, hook them out. Sinbad, I don't know. There's so many other heroes that can fill his role in a way. He doesn't look that impressive on damage. Sure, I haven't upgraded their exclusive weapons yet. Just as default, he doesn't look that great. And now we're kind of on the edge of what my team can do anyways. But let's go in and let's actually upgrade them a bit. I don't know. I like Nara more, definitely, because you can also utilize her somewhat in PvP, like pulling the enemy backline. If the enemy doesn't have a lightning spell in PvP, Nara can still hook the enemies, and if they do have a lightning spell, you can still target someone else. That is kind of useful. I don't know how any one of them performs in Dream Realm though. Can jump in and check now. I haven't really been testing them that much, but I just like that Nara continuously hooks enemies, dealing an insane amount of damage as well. The power here is kinda even, so let's just swap out some and let's do something else. Let's put in Thoran and make Sinbad a bit more tanky. Put in Coco just to get some more survivability. So let's do this. So Nara hooks, Sinbad does one attack, he jumps behind his allies to target or mark enemies. Wait, he jumped way out of the arena. Like, I don't know how good Nara will be in deficit pushing, but just the look of Nara being able to hook enemies out like that and quicker. And also, considering that you could replace Rainier in this way, you don't need to use Rainier anymore to swap in and swap out targets beginning of the fight if you use Nara. And also, in the season, you don't want to do that anyways, because you can get the faction talent on the board if you use Nara instead of Rainier. So that way, I think Nara is really strong as well if you just get that faction talent going as well, because that means you can use more buffs for hero in your battle as well. So I think that's really strong. And this also starts to question, is Rainier really the option to go first now? Because he will basically only be good for bosses, and that's about it. Here we can hook in the Arden, so we don't get CC strong, and then we're hooking the Brian as well. Like, I can see the potential of this snowballing, but I haven't done a lot of deficit pushing, and I haven't tried him out with that. She's actually holding up her own against Shakira as well here. So let's jump into Dreamo and let's test Sinbad. I just kind of want to see his damage potential with the heroes we got in right now. Like seeing these marks. Really help. So the bosses get both the debuffs. I believe they get reduced though. So the marks aren't 100%. I think they get reduced by 20% if I remember correctly. And this is also one of the things where I haven't tried this in Croaker for a while. Oh, come on, just kill him. Oh, wow. That's an amount of damage. So, let's go out and let's replace him.
Who else needs a little pick-me-up?
Let's do that instead. So now we have a healer. So what would be kind of interesting is that is Sinbad good at bossing overall? I believe he could be, but maybe not in all bosses. He is jumping kind of back and forth, so maybe he could be decent in like Necro as well. I wish I would have done more testing, but I just haven't had. But considering he's jumping away, then the pool and Necro and so on, and the time bomb wouldn't be much of an issue, I believe. So let's do this attempt as well. Then we're gonna replace the Sinbad with like Lily May and compare how much damage I can do. Just to compare how good they are. We all know that Lily May is one of the strongest ones right now. Why I haven't spoken about Dunlingr in this video is because he doesn't have a rate up banner. So you can go grab him whenever later on without any like problems, because you can focus on Celestials and Hyperdin by just the Stargate station. Oh, good thing we have the records now. So not that much damage. So let's put in Lily May. And this isn't really a fair comparison straight up like this, because we know Lily May is a really strong bosser. But it will give us kind of an idea how good Sinbad is in current state. So back to Dunlingr. So the reason I'm not talking about him is that you can wait with him, because he's not time limited in the same sense that Sinbad and Nara is. So that's why I'm not focusing on him. What I've seen so far with Dunlingr is he's really great or amazing in PvP. And a lot of people think he's kinda OP and they don't know how to counter him properly right now. But it's one of those things where people start figuring out how to counter him. He won't be as strong. But when you're attacking, he will always be good to utilize, I believe. So here, the Lily May dealt like almost double the damage compared to Sinbad. So yeah, Dunlingr has a lot of utilization in PvP depending on how you place him. And well, that's something they need to fix. So he's basically, based on where you place him on the battlefield, he has different abilities. And these different abilities: Spellbind, unable to cast ultimate, and Cure Lock, unable to recover HP for others. Depending on how you place it, people will either won't be able to recover HP or will not be able to cast ultimate. There should be ways where we can counter him by just going full passive team and people that don't require ultimates that much. And I believe it still works with some of the passive triggers in the beginning. I haven't touched Arena, so might get a couple of attempts with him before the Pioneer server is over. But what I've seen others say is that he's really strong, and we will find some use cases for him for sure. But I also believe he's one of those heroes where in time we will be able just to counter him in some ways. And depending on how your account is built with damage dealers and so on, you don't wanna do either one of these, because it leaves you vulnerable to the heroes. Like I mentioned, the Nara or the Sinbad and Nara, they are time limited. That's why I focus on these heroes instead. Later on, since I haven't recruited them, recruited enough, I can't go into the Stargate station. But as we know, Dunlingr will pop out into Stargate station, so we can actually wait to summon him. And of course, he will also be available in the guild store here. So what we can do is just wait and see how good Dunlingr really is on live servers, because now it's kinda hard to tell, because everyone got an account looking like this, where everyone maxed and you can level up everything. Just wait and see. If you're going for anyone, I would probably go for Nara, for the simple fact that she can be utilized a little bit all over the place. Sinbad, he probably got his unique placement in the meta somewhere, but I don't know where. I will at least go for Nara.
Wanna have some fun?
And that's a bad call. We can always remember that we have the season A level swap, and here we have the season S level swap. So if this is a bad call, you can always fix it later on. But something you have to remember then is, don't do this too quickly. I would wait later on to the season to use this then. So we have more of when we have created more of a picture of who is really good and who is that worth pulling. So then I would wait, and then if you made a bad pull, if Nara isn't as great as we think, then I would swap her. But I think she has her utilization, and I think she can even be good at like lower copies. Now I can't test it because we got all heroes at Supreme Plus, so I can't test like how able she was at least one copy. But if she hooks and you can create kind of like a melee team that jumps on the target she hooks, probably be really decent. But that's it for this video. Are you hyped for Waves of Intrigue? I'm really excited. Like, it's only a couple of days away now. Leave comments down below about what you think about the new heroes coming out and the new season. We'll see you guys next time.